Recording in progress.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, teacher.
Morning all of you. හරි. So බලන්න දැන් සති දෙකකට පස්සේ හම්බ වෙන්නේ ලස්සන මූණු ටික බලන්න. Turn on the videos please all of you. Is it raining? Windy, no? Rather than the rain, it's windy. Like it was like a thunderstorm last night, no? Yes. Tisasna, Kiasha, Metushi, Evni, Ovini. Yes, did you get your marks meanwhile? බලන්න මන් සමහර අය නම් එව්වා. Yes. Some of you sent me the marks. Some parents were so happy that their son or the daughter has got the highest marks in the class. Yes, please tell me your marks if you have got by now. You have one more week to go to school, right? Yes. Metushi, Evni, Teusas are welcome, Teusas.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. Kisha, Paboda, Yasha, Evni. Okay, Talia, you have got 83. Good. Kabalan.
Teacher,
Sudamsa, 91. Yes, Pute.
teacher, I got 81 marks.
Kitma, 81. Good. Well, this time improved, ne, the Kitma, not the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember. Well done, Kitma. Shayantavi sent me a photo of the answer script. Kavalan Thalia, 83. Ayo, what happened, Ovini? Oh, she couldn't sit for the second term exam because of viral flu. So are you recovered, Ovini, by now?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good to hear. Setuli 84. Right, good. Anyone else? Yes, please send me your marks through a message, WhatsApp message, or to the chat. Right, 89 for Sanudi. Hari. සාමාන්‍යතාවට හම්බ වෙන්න නැතුව ඇති නේද? The teachers are still marking the answer script. Divasini 84. Good. I think most of you have improved than the last one, right? Okay. So this time I told you that from August onwards we are starting the LMS. So it is ready. I didn't open it yet for you. By Monday I will open it for you all to get registered, right? Until you get practiced during the month of August, I will continue the WhatsApp group as well as the LMS both, right? Once you are fully familiarized with the LMS, we will go through that. Once I use the LMS, you can go through the recordings, previous recordings. I already share the recordings. And in addition to that, you can face the online assessments to the LMS. Then homework questions will be uploaded in the LMS, so you can write the answers and put the answers once again to the LMS, right? So there are so many things planned, but it will take some time. Gradually, we'll move on. Okay, this is started in the third term as a pilot project. So from next year onwards, we can continue fully, right? And for the edXL curriculum, I thought of not conducting any live classes from this time onwards. Rather than that, I will upload the lessons. It will consist of recorded lessons for edXL curriculum, right? So then they can also they can ask questions to the WhatsApp group once they find anything. Kiasha, okay, good. So just tell me your marks in the previous term as well, right? When you are sending your marks, I like if you can send your marks in the first term and the second term both, right? Please send like that. Then I can get an idea. Okay, Hari. So today we are going to move on to a new lesson, the first lesson in the third term. Major biological processes in plants, right? Main biological processes in plants. So this is something like a biology lesson. We are going to talk about the processes that take place in plants. Kiasha, then it is improved, right? Okay, good. That's why I asked. So you can get further improved. Now you know what are the faults that you had done, right? What are the drawbacks in your method of studying, right? If you waited until the last moment, you can get them corrected for the third term test, right? Gradually we have to make improvements. Okay. So there are many students that get improved like that once they identify their faults, right? So sometimes they will move from very low marks to 90s gradually, right? So you have to follow the instructions from the month of August onwards. Since we are launching the LMS, you will be given a unit test as well. At the end of each unit, you will be given a unit test, then monthly test. Then as usual, you will have the term assessments as well. Before November, we have to finish the things. That is our plan. Yes, Yugit, Metushi, videos on karan pute, Pabod, Tehan. Okay. So what are the biological processes that take place in a plant? Grade 6, you have learned some of these. Yes, what are they? Yes. some of the biological processes. Now, there are many biological processes, right? They respirate, right? And in addition to that, plants grow, right? They respirate in order to produce energy. Okay, respiration is carried out in order to produce energy, right? Growth is visible in a plant. You have learned that a plant has an unlimited growth. During the whole lifetime of a plant, it grows, right? What else? Kian Balan? Biological processes. The things that you have learned as living characteristics. Yes, yes, you can. You always start, I can. Can. Hello, අද මොකද කතා කරන්නද after the term test? You are having a break, so you can talk. Today we are listening. එහෙමද? We are having a rest day. Is it? Yes, Tasmina? What are the other biological processes? As you can feel now, plants are living organisms, right? What are the things that we can see? They reproduce, right? They produce flowers. Then most of the plants, right? You know, there are both non-flowering plants as well as flowering plants. The flowering plants produce flowers, then they develop into fruits and seeds. The fruits and seeds get dispersed, then the seeds germinate and produce new plants, right? That is the process of reproduction, right? And they show certain movements. Neither. In grade 6, you have learned about the sleeping movements, right? Then some of them show sleeping movements on touch when darkness falls, right? Likewise, there are different types of movements shown by plants. And this next year, actually, you will learn about the plant movements and their growth substances. This year. එතකොට තව මොනවද? Yes, the shoot bends towards light. නේද? The shoot bends towards light. What else? The roots grow towards water, in search of water through soil. Right? These are different movements of plants. So here in this lesson, we are going to focus on major biological processes. You know, plants are really important, right? These days, the people throughout the world have realized the importance of plants, right? Because you may have heard that thousands of people are dead because of the increased atmospheric temperature, right? Global warming, that may be due to the El Nino condition and sometimes due to global warming. Especially in European countries, so many people are dead by now because of the extreme heat, right? And in some nations, they are fighting with the forest fire, right? That is once again because of the dry weather. So the plants are very important because of two main reasons. Because of the process of photosynthesis, the plants produce food for the whole living world, right? That we all can survive. Even the carnivores can survive because of the plants. Why? The carnivores are also depending indirectly on plants. We have discussed this earlier, right? Now if we take a simple food chain, we'll say a plant is eaten by deer and the deer is eaten by the tiger, right? So the tiger is the secondary consumer. It is a carnivore, but the deer directly depends on the plant. Deer directly depends on the plant. The tiger indirectly depends on the plant. Why? The tiger depends on deers. The deer population exists because of the existence of plants, right? Then the carnivores can survive because of the presence of plants. කට්ටිය අඩුයි නේ. The exams, they may be having holidays, right? Enjoying. අමක් නෑ ගිය සතියේ break එකක් දුන්නා නේද අපි? අද classes තියෙනවා. Okay, so the herbivores depend directly on plants and the carnivores depend indirectly on plants. So likewise, the whole living world depends on plants, right? So photosynthesis is an important biological process which provides food for the whole living world. Okay, then what is the other one? What is the main byproduct of photosynthesis? Food is the main product. Means basically it produces glucose at the beginning. So what is the byproduct of photosynthesis? Yes, Pote, කියන්න. Yes, Minindo, what is the important byproduct of photosynthesis?
Oxygen.
Oxygen is the important byproduct, right? So oxygen is needed for the respiration of organisms, including plants, animals, aerobic microorganisms. All need oxygen for their respiration. So remember, Pute, photosynthesis is the only process in which carbon dioxide is taken in and oxygen is given out. Right? This is the only process. There are many methods to add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, right? And photosynthesis is the only process which remove carbon dioxide. You know, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, leads to the increase in the atmospheric temperature. So when there are no trees, when there are less number of trees, more carbon dioxide will get accumulated in the atmosphere, right? As a result, the atmospheric temperature rises. Not only carbon dioxide, there are many other greenhouse gases which do global warming, right? But if carbon dioxide level is controlled by plants, that global warming can also be controlled. That's the importance of plants. That is what I said at the beginning. The people throughout the world realize the importance of plants these days, right? And so they have to move on to reforestation again and again. And even the plants help to maintain the water cycle also. The water cycle is also maintained because of the presence of plants, right? And the plants are a part of the water cycle as well, right? Because the tall trees, they absorb groundwater, and by means of transpiration, that water is released to the atmosphere, right? Water vapor is there in the atmosphere because of plants. Evaporation takes place from other animals as well as from the water bodies as well, but plants also contribute for the water cycle. Plants are really important, right? Therefore, those days you have to think of planting more and more trees, because in the coming few months it is said that as Sri Lankans also we have to face extreme dry weather condition. Extremely dry weather condition. They say that for few months we will have to face dry weather, and then heavy rains that we experienced last year. Remember, like වගේ වෙනවා කියලා කියනවා. ඒ නිසා we have to plant more trees. Right? As an individual, ඔගොල්ලෝ එක ගහක් හරි හිටවලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? How to contribute as an individual. Have space in your garden, you have to plant more. Okay, so we'll move on to the theory behind photosynthesis. Ask questions. මේ කතා කරන කට්ටිය ඇවිල්ලා නැද්ද නැත්නම් ඉන්න කට්ටිය කතා කරන්නේ නැද්ද දන්නේ. එනදට මට ආන්සර්ස් එනවනේ ඔයිට වඩා. මොකද නිකන් පොඩ්ඩක් එහෙම පොඩි එනර්ජි ලොස් එකකුත් තියෙනවා නේ ටර්ම් ටෙස්ට් එකක් ඉවර වුණාම ගොඩාක් මහන්සියෙන් කරලා කරලා නේද? Energize the line on it, right? You have to be energetic, you have to give the answers, right? Okay. Hari. Then we'll see what we are not learning this newly. You have learned about photosynthesis earlier. We will just recall our memory, right? So you know, sun is the main source of light. Provides light energy for the occurrence of photosynthesis. Know that we use the word photo. The word photo because of what? Light. Photo is light. Photo is light. Sinhala we call this as Prabha Sansleshane. Prabha is Alokaya කියන එක. Right? So light energy is essentially needed. Right? Light energy. Light energy. So from the sun we get the light energy. Right? Then that light energy is absorbed. Light energy is absorbed by a special chemical substance, a pigment available in the leaves. What is it? That light energy is absorbed by what?
Chlorophyll.
That is chlorophyll. Yes, chlorophyll is the green pigment that is available in leaves. Right? You don't need to write these on the diagram. I have asked questions. So chlorophyll absorbs the energy of light. Right? Then the plants need two main raw materials for photosynthesis. What are they? What are the raw materials need? Yes.
Carbon dioxide and water.
Carbon dioxide and water. Very good. So yeah, water is absorbed mainly from soil, right? So in most of the plants, the roots are in soil, right? So in the soil, there are water particles which we call as the soil solution. From soil solution, the root hairs absorb water. So water is the next factor needed for the occurrence of photosynthesis. Water, right? Then you mentioned the second raw material. Second raw material is carbon dioxide, right? Carbon dioxide is obtained from the leaves. In leaves, there are structures known as stomata, right? There are structures as stomata. So through stomata, this carbon dioxide is taken in. And we mentioned four things. Light is the form of energy that is absorbed by chlorophyll. And there are two raw materials, water and carbon dioxide. When these four factors are available, the inside the plant leaves, food means glucose is produced, right, as the main product. Glucose is the main product, and oxygen gas is produced as the byproduct. Uthpala, right? Byproduct is oxygen. Okay, this is the summary of photosynthesis. Understood? Yes, Kitma, Petmi, Nusra, Yasha, Yogit, Resat, you have to be visible. So in the first question, I have asked why plants are considered to be autotrophic organisms. Yes, give me the answer, Setuli. Setuli Kian Pute, why do we consider plants as autotrophs? Yes, anyone else? Yes, Nusra, what do you say?
They can produce their own food.
Yes, plants can produce their own food, right? That is why they are considered to be autotrophs, right? The animals, these are heterotrophs, right? Because they can't produce chamatka. The animals cannot produce their own food, right? Animals cannot produce their own food. Hari. අපි යමුද definition එකක් ලියන්න. So for the first one, you have to say plants can produce since the plants can produce their own food, since the plants can produce their own food, since the plants can produce food, they are considered to be, they are known as autotrophs. They are known as autotrophs. They are known as autotrophs. Alright. Now, before we move on to the next questions, I will share a video. Photosynthesis. Write the rest of. Deusas, is Sandaru your friend? No, Sandaru. Not here.
Clarendon Learning explores the world of science. Photosynthesis. All living things must eat. They must eat food to live. Plants are living things. How do you think a plant eats? Can I feed a plant like this? I don't think a plant could eat like that. People and other animals must eat food. Birds must eat food. Reptiles gotta have food. And fish also must eat. Eat something. And plants. Plants are living things and must have food. How do people eat food? I think most people eat food through their mouth. How do you think a plant eats food? Through its mouth? Maybe, if the plant's a Venus flytrap. If the plant is not a Venus flytrap, then it gets its food through a process called photosynthesis. That's a big word. Say it with me. Photo, syn, the, sis. Say it with me a little faster. Photo, synthesis. Now say it faster and all together. Photosynthesis. Excellent! I knew you could say it. Photosynthesis is the process that enables green plants, algae, and some bacteria to make their own food. Wait, hold the phone. Did I say make their own food? Yes, I meant what I said. Trees, plants, shrubs, grass, algae. Ew, what's algae? These organisms make their own food, and the way they do it is amazing, and it's called photosynthesis. People cannot magically make their own food, right? It takes shopping and time and preparation. It takes work. I'm hungry just thinking about it. But watch how plants do it. The word photosynthesis comes from two words, photo, which means light, and synthesis, which means to make. Plants use light to manufacture their food, which gives the plant energy. What's the best source of light? Yup, you're right. It's the sun. Let's explore the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis occurs in the leaves of trees and plants, in microscopic structures of the leaves called chloroplasts, which contain chemical molecules of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the element that gives leaves its green color. 3 elements are required for a plant to perform photosynthesis. Number 1, carbon dioxide is required. Carbon dioxide is a gas in the air. All animals expel carbon dioxide when they breathe out. Plants like that. Plants need carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is absorbed into the leaves of the plant. Number 2, plants need water. All living things need water. You need water just like plants. The water in the soil is absorbed into the roots of the plant and travels up into the leaves of the plant. What do you think number 3 is? What is the third thing that plants need? We mentioned it before. Remember what photo means in photosynthesis? If you said light, you would be right. Light energy is absorbed into the leaves of the plant. And what is the best source of light? You got it, the sun. Some plants can be grown indoors. They still need light energy. It takes a special lamp to produce the right kind of light that plants need to perform photosynthesis. Now that you know the 3 things necessary, let's see how they all work together. Water, in the form of moisture, reaches the leaves of trees and plants through the root system. Carbon dioxide is also being absorbed into the leaves and into the chloroplasts. Light energy falls upon the leaves and is absorbed by the chlorophyll. And when all the ingredients come together, bam! The chemical reaction known as photosynthesis has just occurred, and the plant has made its own food. Food in the form of glucose, which is a type of sugar. Plants and trees use these sugars to grow and make flowers and fruit and vegetables, the things we need to live. Another byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen. Plants give off oxygen during photosynthesis, and we need to breathe oxygen. Look how neat this is. We, people and animals, breathe out carbon dioxide, which plants need to grow, and plants give off oxygen, which we need to grow. What a beautiful relationship. All living things on Earth rely on plants and trees and grasses of all kinds, all over the world. We rely on the process of photosynthesis so they can be healthy and continue to grow. Let's protect our forests. Thanks for following Clarendon Learning. Be sure to subscribe. If you're looking for more teaching resources, check us out at clarendonlearning.org.
Monster Math presents
Okay. Right. Then we'll move on to the of the questions. හරි. ඔය එන්න බලන්න පේන්න. කරගෙන සමහර අය. Label the factors necessary for the process of photosynthesis on the diagram given above. Hari. If you feel it difficult to mark them on the diagram, you can write them on this side as A, B, C, and D. Write them down. What are the factors marked as A, B, C, and D? Hurry up. Hari. So A is sunlight, or if you have mentioned light energy, that is also correct, right? Because nowadays, because of the high demand for food, there are even underground plantations which carry out photosynthesis by using artificial light. Ekin kiyanne ayana without sunlight we can survive කියලා, right? Because we can't survive without the sun. In order to generate electricity also, the whole energy is provided by the sun, right? But for photosynthesis, for the production of food in plants, we can provide artificial lighting as well. Most probably they use LED, right? So out, when we obtain white light, right, it consists of 7 contrasting colors, right? The colors that you see, a rainbow, right? So out of these 7 contrasting colors, the plants absorb mainly red and blue, right, for the process of photosynthesis, right? Red and blue. So A is light energy or sunlight. Then B is carbon dioxide, C is water, and D is, yes, D is chlorophyll, right? D should be chlorophyll. Okay, that is why specifically I have given that leaf in a different green color, right? That is chlorophyll. These are the 4 factors needed for photosynthesis, right? Out of them, for A, you can say energy. Within brackets put, or using a different color. Once you have said light, within brackets say energy. For B, you can say it absorbs light. B absorbs light. Chlorophyll absorbs light. Chlorophyll කියලා ලියලා ඊට පස්සේ within brackets you can say in a different color it absorbs light. C and D, you can say these are the raw materials. Raw materials needed for the process. Raw materials, right? Raw materials. Hari. Then we have to say how the plants obtain the above mentioned factors. How the plants obtain the above mentioned factors. How do they obtain? Right? Hari. So A is, as I have mentioned, A is light, no? So we can say light is, sunlight is absorbed. Have you finished writing parts? I need to take the page up. Right, so A is light, carbon dioxide, make a mistake earlier. Mistake means when we were writing the raw materials, light, energy, Annevadi did make a mistake. I asked. B, you have to say carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. C, water. For B and C, you have to say raw material, right? C, water. 2, you have to say එක පොඩ මාරු කරලා මං හිතන්නේ මම chlorophyll, right? You have to say energy, right? 2 raw materials, chlorophyll absorbs light. Hari. ඊට පස්සේ for part 3 you have asked state how plants obtain the above mentioned factors. Hari. So for A we have to say how it obtains sunlight. මම මෙතනින් ලියන්නම් since A B මෙතන ලියන්නත් පුළුවන් හැබැයි නේද? I will write here. A is obtained. Sunlight is obtained from what? Yes, through the surface of the leaf, right? So mainly, you know, the leaves are green in color, right? The leaves are green in color. Most of the plants, right? In some of the plants, even certain parts of the stem is green in color, right? So these green plants, green parts contain the pigment chlorophyll, right? So chlorophyll absorbs energy of light, right? And we can say for A, chlorophyll is available in chloroplasts, right? Chloroplasts are organelles. Chlorophyll in chloroplasts. Here you saw that chloroplasts absorb sunlight. Sunlight. So mainly this happens in plant leaves, right? Mainly happens in plant leaves. Leaves are mainly green in color. Absorbs sunlight. Brackets you can say happens mainly leaves. Complete sentence happens in leaves. The answer for part 3, right? Now remember, chloroplast is an organelle. So inside the chloroplast, we find chlorophyll. So chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, right? Then B, carbon dioxide. So how do they obtain carbon dioxide? කාට හරි මතක නම් කියන්න බලන්න, what is the structure? What are the structures available in leaves for the exchange of gases? Yes, those are known as stomata. Very good. So for B, we can say carbon dioxide enters through stomata. Even stomata are mainly available in plant leaves, right? Enters from the atmosphere through stomata in leaves. Stomata are tiny openings in the plant leaves. And these are made of different types of cells known as guard cells. Stomata in plant leaves. That is for B, how carbon dioxide is obtained. Then C. Yes, C is water. Water is absorbed by the root hairs. I will tell you what root hairs are. You know the roots, but you don't know what root hairs are. So the water is absorbed from soil by using the root hairs, right? After absorbing, that water should be transported to the leaves. So transportation of water happens a special type of a tissue known as
Xylem.
yeah, Danna, in grade 7 you have learned that is the xylem tissue, right? C, xylem. Water from soil solution. Water from soil solution absorbed by can put uragana ab absorbed by root hairs and transported to the leaves through the xylem tissue. Xylem. Okay. Water from soil solution is absorbed by root hairs and transported to the leaves through xylem. Koko Yenuki, Ayatsen, Sanket, Yugit, Kima, Yenuli. About 50 absent. දැන් පොඩක් පොඩි බ්‍රේක් එකක් ගන්න නිවාඩු කාලේ කියලා හැබැයි මුළු මන්ත් එකම සෙල්ලම් කරලම ඉවර කරගන්න එපා. You can enjoy your holidays as well as meantime you can have a proper timetable and focus on your studies as well, right? හරිද? නිවාඩු කාලේ ඩටම පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ සෙල්ලම් කරන්න. And month of kites නේද? You can make a kite and try to fly it. effort එකකුත් දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ තව මොනවාද? You can learn how to cook. නේද? Both girls and boys. ඒත් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. Can help your parents in the day-to-day stuff. Can go somewhere if your parents are free. And meanwhile, you have to focus on your studies as well. කලින් කරන්න බැරි වෙච්ච දේවල් කලින් මම මෙහෙම හරියට පාඩම් කළේ නැහැ ෂෙඩියුල් එකක් තිබුණේ නැහැ කියලා හිතනවා නම් how to make a proper plan and start your work, right? එකක් ගන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ගත්තනේ ගිය සතියේ නේද රෙස්ට් එක. ටර්ම් ටෙස්ට් ඉවර වෙලා 1 week විතර වෙනවා නේද? දැන් ඔයගලන් grade 6 7 8 9 to 9 අයට සතියක් විතර හම්බුණා නේද after the exam. Hari. Then D, the last one, chlorophyll. Yes, so we can say it is a green pigment which is found inside the chloroplasts. A green pigment, green pigment found in chloroplast. Absorbs light. Right? We have mentioned that chlorophyll absorbs light. There are many activities that we have to discuss along with this photosynthesis process. What happened to your hand? I met with an accident actually at home. Accident. But here I have two doggies. Fight when I was going to feed them, if you have pets at home, so when we are feeding, when there are two, we can put food at the beginning to only one plate, no? But the other one feels jealous. I think I was going to then ටිකක් දාපු ගමන් එයා කන්න පටන් ගත්තා. So when I was eating its plate, it bit my hand. අත් එක තරහට නෙමෙයි අතට මේ දෙන්නගේ fight එකට. I think we have to be very careful. මටත් හරි පුදුම දෙයක් මොකද දැන් අවුරුදු 4 years අනිත් එක්කෙනා 2 years ඉතින් එහෙම වෙලාම නැහැ. එයාගේ කට ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා මම හිතන්නේ මගේ අත මේ දෙපැත්තෙන් දත් දෙකක් වැදිලා තිබුණා. It was really painful, right? at that instance, ඉතින් දාගන්න බැරි වුණා මොකක්ද උනේ කියලා. It happened last Friday. දැන් නම් ගොඩක් හොඳයි. There is no big wound. Wound එකක් ඇත්තටම නැහැ. Externally there is nothing, but I was asked to keep covered. Because of the pain, our doctor mentioned that sometimes the nerve endings may have been damaged. යාළුවගේ teeth හරි sharp නේ. නේද? මේ පොඩ්ඩක් අර there was something like an irritation along the fingers. Some පොඩ්ඩක් තියෙනවා. There is the pain. පාඩමක්. Since they were vaccinated, I was given tetanus only. Breed dog කෙනෙක්ගේ වුණා නම් අර rabies වලට vaccine ගන්න වෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝත් හරි පරිස්සම් වෙන්න. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ එහෙම behaviors develop වෙන්න පුළුවන්ලු කලින් aggressive නොවුනත්. පස්සේ ඒ නිසා කොච්චර අර හුදතල් වුණත් ආදරෙන් හිටියත් ඒ පාරටම වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So be careful. And even if you have cats at home, then සමහර අය cats ලා vaccinate කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ හැමදාම යනවා කියන හැබැයි you have to vaccinate them as well. හරිද? දතක් හරි වැදුණා. දැන් යක් වුණා තමයි ඒවා ගැන අපි හොයන්න පටන් ගන්නෙ. මේ සංගේ වුණත් දතක් වැදුනොත් ඩක්සීවත් ලෙකකට ගියොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් when the vaccine ගියොත් නෙමෙයි, you have to do that because that is something dangerous. ඒක ගෙදර අනන් ඒගොල්ලන්වත් vaccinate කරලා තියාගන්න. Handle them carefully. You have pets, but you have to handle them carefully. Hari, finish, no? Shall I erase? කරයි නේද? Hari, I am going to erase. Name the organ which is found in plant cells and in which photosynthesis takes place. එතකොට මෙතන පුතේ organ නෙමෙයි organelle වෙන්න ඕනේ because the leaf is the organ. You know that a plant has two systems. කෑ ගහලා කියන්නේ මොනවද? What are the two systems in a plant?
Root system and shoot system.
Shoot system and the fruit system, right? Then what are the systems in the plant body? Sorry, have you mentioned the systems? What are the organs in the plant body? Yes, what are the plant organs? Yes, organs. The leaf is an organ. Yes, likewise.
Flowers, branches, stems.
Flowers, branches, roots, stem. Yes, these are the organs. මෙතන ප්‍රශ්නය අහන්නේ organ which is found in plant cells. It should be organelle. Inside a cell we find the organelle, right? So please get it corrected. Sorry for the mistake. Here it should be organelle. Which is found in plant cells and in which photosynthesis takes place. So what is the organelle? We mentioned already. Chloroplast. Yes, chloroplast is the organelle in which we find chlorophyll. And chloroplast is the organelle in which we find chlorophyll. Right? So we will define the term photosynthesis. We'll define the term photosynthesis. Hari. Yes, how can we define? So all the important factors should be mentioned. Then මේ lesson එකම තව පොඩ්ඩක් deep අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නවා in grade 11 also. For the who are in grade 11 now, the prevailing syllabus, there is a lesson grade 11 unit 2 in photosynthesis, right? Another අපි definition එකක් ලියනවා. They are also asked the students to write the full definition in all the factors, the main product as well as the byproduct. නිසා කටපාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ. We can build up a definition. So photosynthesis අපි මෙහෙම කියමු is the process in which photosynthesis is the process in which මේවා කියන්න ඕනේ green plants in which don't write I will give the definition green plants produce their own food නැත්නම් green plants produce their own food කියන්නත් පුළුවන් green plants make use of carbon dioxide and water as raw materials. Water as raw materials, absorbing the energy of light. Energy of light in the presence of chlorophyll. In the presence of chlorophyll. Then ඔක්කොම ටික include වෙනව නේද? In the presence of chlorophyll in order to produce glucose, which is the main product, and oxygen as a byproduct. The 4 factors needed, what is the main product and the byproduct. So you also can build up a definition rather than by hearting the things. That is science. You have to understand the theory and write down the answers. Theory understand. You have to understand, right? So we'll write like this. Photosynthesis is the process in which green plants produce food photosynthesis is the process in which green plants produce food green plants produce food absorbing light energy absorbing light energy absorbing light energy using chlorophyll absorbing light energy in the presence of chlorophyll කියමු අපි absorbing light energy in the presence of chlorophyll using carbon dioxide and water using carbon dioxide and water as the main raw materials carbon dioxide and water as the main raw materials හරි නේද දැන් අපි photosynthesis ගැන කතා කරලා ඉවර වෙලා පුංචි break එකක් දෙන්නම් ඒ කියන්නේ up to the 8th question right හරි write the word equation for photosynthesis හරි ඔන්න when you are asked to write the word equation you have to include all another so these are the raw materials carbon dioxide word equation we don't write the chemical formula we write them in words right carbon dioxide and water are the raw materials they react each other in the presence of light energy and chlorophyll if you say sunlight it is also okay light energy and chlorophyll These two are essential, right? So we write them on and under the arrow. Light, energy, and chlorophyll. They produce glucose as the main product and oxygen as a byproduct. This is what we call as a word equation. You know, we write the reactants on one side and the products on the other side. You have learned in the 8th unit, right? When we learned about the chemical changes, the reactants are converted into products. Hari neda Nitya? Yes, Resat? Natari? Neda Pute? Yes, Sanket, Talia, Yogit, where are you? So this is the word equation. And what is the main product? Talia, what is the main product of photosynthesis?
Glucose.
That is glucose. Then the important byproduct of photosynthesis is, yes, what is
Oxygen.
it? What is the byproduct? That is
Oxygen.
oxygen. Oxygen. Sorry. Now fill in the blanks in the 8th question, part 8. Question number 1, part 8. Have you all got the tutes? So I got late this time to share the tute. I shared it yesterday only because it was difficult for me to type the things. I could the keyboard or the mouse අත තියාගෙන ඉන්නකොට අර අත හිර වැටෙනවා වගේ තිබුණා. ඒ නිසා actually each year දැන් කලින් අවුරුද්දලත් දීලා තියෙනවා, each year I just make certain changes in the tutes. මම එකම share කරන්නේ නැහැ. කරන්න ටිකක් පරක්කු වුණා. I shared it yesterday only. Right. Hari. Kyan balana? Yes, all of you give me the answers. Main product of photosynthesis is
Glucose.
glucose. That
Need to
is
get on practice.
glucose. Right. Glucose is produced here. This glucose is not stored in the form of glucose. Right. That produced food is temporarily converted into starch. Right. And it is converted into starch. Though I asked you to fill the blanks, right? That glucose is temporarily converted into starch, right? Starch is the stored type of carbohydrate in a plant, right? And stored in the leaf. It happens temporarily inside the leaf, right? It is stored in the form of starch, right? Then that starch is converted into a solution of sucrose. The sucrose solution එකක් විදිහට it gets translocated through the phloem tissue to the other parts. දැන් අපි කියනවානේ the edible parts, we eat the fruits. In some plants we eat the roots in which food is stored. Manioc, then sweet potato in the lateral roots. ඊළඟට carrot, beetroot, radish, turnip, the taproot, they have stored food, right? In some of the plants, the stem is edible, like sugar cane. The food is produced in the leaves, but it is stored in the fruits, stems, or roots, or any other part of the plant. For that food should be translocated to the other parts of the plant. That happens in the form of a sucrose solution, right? Solution of sucrose, and translocated to the growing parts and storage organs, right? Through the, what is the name of the tissue through which food gets translocated? Yes, that is. Oh, Dana. Water is transported through the xylem tissue. Food is translocated through the, yes or Vinya?
Phloem tissue.
Phloem tissue. Phloem tissue. Phloem. Phloem tissue. Transportation of water takes place through the xylem tissue. එහෙනම් දැන් වෙන කතන්දරේ මතකයි නේද? Glucose is produced. It is temporarily stored as starch in the leaves. Then when it is to be translocated to the other parts through the phloem tissue, that is converted into a sucrose solution. ඒකට කියනවා phloem sap කියලා. Phloemia ushare gets translocated as a solution of sucrose to the other parts. ඊට පස්සේ ආපහු it gets deposited in the form of starch. Starch විදිහට තමයි හැමතිස්සෙම store කරන්නේ. Okay? Hari, before we move on to the next activity, you can have a little break, a 5-minute break. Just stand up, go and drink some water and come back. On your videos for the ones. Start with the 9th question. So, but once we finish this part, actually you have to be thorough with the process of photosynthesis, right? So, if you are interested, actually you will not a simple process like this. Tuni, is it for today or for today only?
Only for today, teacher. It's an extra class.
Okay. Part, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Hi. So today you all have to go through this lesson day itself, right? Other dawase. So you go to bed, you have to revise the lesson. You can easily put the things into your long-term memory once you have watched the videos, right? There are the things that we have discussed, the things we wrote, the images, all things, everything get stored in your mind once you revise this day. ඒ විදිහට කරගෙන යන්න ඕනේ, right? So next year you will in another 4 months. You are going to start grade 9 work. Grade 9, there are many lessons, right? The content is also higher than this. Therefore, you have to be prepared. ලෑස්ති වෙන්න ඕනේ. The method is to revise the things daily. අදම බලා ගන්නවා පොඩි වෙලාවක් කරන් පැය කතා කරන. You can have just half an hour to revise, right? Then before you join the next class, you have to go through them once again in another 5 minutes time. Likewise, just allocate a time slot in the week for each subject, 1 slot or 2, right? To revise the previous lessons, then this is the 11th unit. So what about 10 units? You have time to revise them as well, the questions that we have discussed together. You have to go through all of them. At the end of each unit, you get a unit test, right? And at the end of each month, you will get a monthly test as well. Then you will get the at once, right? Then your marks will be recorded. හොඳට ලෑස්ති වෙලා ඉන්න. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හරි ලේසි නිතර නිතර මතක් කරනකොට when the term tests are, you can remember everything. Okay. හරි. Number 9. Describe the steps of an activity done in order to show that photosynthesis has been placed in a plant leaf. So we can't see that photosynthesis taking place or it has taken place in a leaf. Therefore, we have to carry out an experiment. Prove that. Yes, turn on the windows. Harry. So the activity is, shall we watch the video? Kisha. Okay, good, Kisha. 9. Some of you had sent this also, but I like if you all can send a message once you get your marks, your first term mark and the second term mark, both. Right? Harry. So how to do the activity first, and then we will discuss. Call this starch test. Because once food is produced, once glucose is produced, it is temporarily stored in the form of starch. No? So we can do the starch test in order to identify whether photosynthesis has taken place. Plant leaf. Right. Watch this first.
Do you know that leaves of plants produce glucose through photosynthesis? The excess glucose is then converted into starch, which is the reserved food material in plants. Let us do a small experiment to test the presence of starch in leaves. We need a leaf, boiling water, alcohol, iodine solution, test tube, spirit lamp. Take a leaf from a plant that has been exposed to sunlight for several hours. Place the leaf in boiling water. This will kill the leaf, disrupt the cell membrane, and soften the cell walls, allowing the iodine to enter the cells and react. Now put the leaf in a test tube and cover it with alcohol.
Here you can see on Isalama poll. You should know what are the laboratory that we have to use for this, right? So here you know this is known as the tripod, right? When we need up, here he is a spirit lamp, or we can use the Bunsen burner, right? In gas, here we use spirit, right? Then then on the tripod here there is a wire gauze or a wire mesh. On the wire mesh only we have the beaker, right? First the leaf is boiled in water. Boil water and put aside and boil the leaf in water. Right? Listen carefully because at the end you are asked certain questions. Anil on answers. So the leaf is boiled in water in order to make the cells dead. Right? Boiled in water in order to make cells dead. Once we boil, cells become dead. Then we need to take chlorophyll out of the leaf because now you have seen the starch test done for a slice of bread or some rice. Then these are white in color, right? Then once the iodine solution, they turn dark purple or dark blue. Blue black කියලා කියනවා. So to observe that color change, we have to remove chlorophyll. Green pigment should be removed. Therefore, after boiling the leaf in water, transfer the boiled leaf to alcohol solution. Transfer it to alcohol. Then boil the leaf in alcohol. Then chlorophyll gets dissolved in alcohol. Alcohol is colorless at the beginning. Once chlorophyll gets dissolved, the alcohol becomes it gets luminous green like because of the dissolving of chlorophyll alcohol. Then we have to take the leaf out. Here that step is not mentioned. We better to wash the leaf water before we put iodine, right? Wash the leaf with water, then we can put iodine. When we are putting iodine also, we better to use a white background. We can keep this is known as a petri dish, right? The petri dish can add iodine to the boiled leaf. If we have kept a white paper under the petri dish, it's a white background, so we will be able to see color change properly. The beakers, no. I will show the activity from the beginning, right?
We need a leaf, boiling water, alcohol, iodine solution, test tube, spirit lamp. Take a leaf from a plant that has been exposed to sunlight for several hours. Place the leaf in boiling water. This will kill the leaf, disrupt the cell membrane, and soften the cell walls, allowing the iodine to enter the cells and react. Now put the leaf in a test tube and cover it with alcohol. Keep the test tube in the boiling water. The chlorophyll slowly dissolves into the alcohol. Note that alcohol turns green. Removal of chlorophyll will help us observe the color change of iodine clearly. Place the bleached leaf in a
Before that, just tell me, why did we put the test tube with alcohol in a water bath? Why didn't we take it the direct flame? I alcohol තිබ්බ test tube එක අපි කෙලින්ම flame එකට ගත්තේ නැත්තේ, like the beaker. Any idea? Yes. Yes, Rovindi?
Then this will be also dissolved.
What is it, Tehan? Can you repeat?
Then the starch will be also dissolved.
The leaf will become soft and the cell walls will also become soft.
No, both of you didn't mention the exact reason. So here there is alcohol. What do you know about alcohol? Can catch
Fire.
fire.
Can catch
Yes, can catch fire. If you take a test tube with alcohol to the direct flame, it will catch fire. That is why we keep the test tube with alcohol in the water bath. Like heat it up by immersing inside a water bath. We take this boiling tube or the direct flame, this will catch fire. That's why.
green. Removal of chlorophyll will help us observe the color change of iodine clearly. Place the bleached leaf in a petri dish. Pour iodine solution over it. Note the color of the leaf. It changes to dark green. This is because iodine combines with starch present in the leaf and forms a violet-colored complex. This shows that starch is present in leaves. Now cover a leaf with a black paper for a couple of days and do the same test. See if it still has starch.
The nicer you are.
Okay. Hari. Now we'll discuss the things that we have to do, and you know that. Watch the video. So you are asked to describe the steps of an activity. We have to draw the setup as well. So when we are describing an activity, first of all, we have to mention the things needed, right? Hari. I will start where you can find this. Set up and write down the things needed. This is the activity. First, you have to write the things needed. You need a beaker. Start writing a watch glass or a, yes, a petri dish, right? Put the leaf, tripod, Bunsen burner, some leaves that are exposed to the sunlight. Well, sunflower, chili, drumstick examples. You know, I have done this successfully with Cupamania leaves, right? It's called the activity for the grade 11's ladder. Cupamania leaves worked well. එක කරලා බැලුවහම results ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Alcohol, boiling tube, iodine solution, and forceps. To take the leaf out, we need to have a pair of forceps. Hari. You write down the things and I will label the thing diagram.
Excuse me, teacher.
Oh, පුතේ කියන්න.
What is the use of a white ceramic tile?
White ceramic tile එක තමයි පුතේ, the white background I mentioned. Once you take the leaf out after boiling in water, boiling in alcohol, you can keep the leaf on white ceramic tile. Then it is the white background, so you can see the color change easily. If you have kept at least a white sheet of paper underneath the petri dish, then it will become a white background. So the color changes are visible clearly in white background. Right? Okay, good. So how to ask the questions that you have. Yes, turn on the videos. Are ඉක්මනට disappear වෙනවා. Videos play කරාදි කමක් නැහැ. You can turn off the videos, your video, because the bandwidth can become low. But on the other times, you have to on speaker, label the part, right? Write the method, dip the leaves in hot water and boil. Then put boiling alcohol, right? Boil them in bath as shown. This part as shown in until they become colorless. Label these. Wire mesh, wire goes, wire mesh, tripod, Bunsen burner, and here also you would better know the flame, right? Water bath is hot, but you can keep the burner on. This is the boiling tube, right? Label all the parts. Then take the leaves away and wash well. This step is necessary. We have to wash the leaf with water. Keep them on the watch glass and put some iodine drops on the watch glass. We say that the white tile. Here we will correct watch instead of the watch glass. We say a white tile. White tile, you can say. White tile. As you white tile. And put some iodine drops onto the leaves. Take the observation. Hurry up. Needed method. Under the method, you have to draw set up. This is all that you have to write on the given space, right? Then for the observations, I have asked questions. Sanket innawa neda? Geet Ayatsan Resat Teusas. Yes, have you all finished? Harineda, shall we move on then? When you are drawing diagrams, Puthe, don't use the pen, as I have mentioned earlier also. You have to use a pencil to draw the diagrams. Labeling you can do with a pen, but drawing part should be done with a pencil. And use rulers. Harineda, the and we have to start the presentations also from next week. I will mention the names and the topics who are going to the presentations. We have done the presentations up to the law of conservation of mass, right? From there onwards, we have to continue the presentations. Sensory organs, then electricity lesson. There are some students who get a chance yet to do lessons. Udbashi, you haven't done a presentation, right? Udbashi. Yes, Udbashi,
Yes, miss.
you haven't, right? Hari. The Sanket you haven't done. Then I will Bashi and also Sanket. Udbashi, your topic is human excretory system.
Okay, teacher.
One excretory system, Utkashi. Then Sanket, you are there, right? Sanket in another.
Yes, teacher.
Your topic is methods of connecting cells and bulbs. Methods of connecting cells and bulbs. Okay. Then at the same time, I will assign the are going to share their notes. Senudi, you are there, right? Senudi? Senudi innaneda? And Thalia. Senudi and Thalia have to share their notes. Right? Senudi and Thalia. Did you hear? Both of you?
Yes, teacher.
Hari. Okay. Hari. Anna then athine the velawa. Enough. I'm going to erase. Hari. So after that, you are asked certain questions. What is the indicator used to identify starch? What is it? All of you, turn on the videos and tell me.
Iodine.
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 Iodine solution.
Iodine.
You can say iodine solution, right? Iodine solution is used. Iodine solution is used to identify starch. Here, how we keep the washed leaf on the white tile and put a drop of iodine by using a dropper. Natham, we call it as a dropping pipette. Right? Dropper or a dropping pipette. So what are your observations? Yes, the leaf turns into? Yes. How about it?
Dark blue.
Dark blue. Yes. Purplish blue, blackish blue. Different names are used. So you can say the leaf turns to dark blue. Turns to dark blue. Right? Why the leaf is boiled in water? Give me the answer. Yes, Natari. Why do we boil the leaf in water? Yes, Pute? I mentioned. Yes?
To death the cells in a plant leaf.
Yes, Kidma. To make the cells dead. The plant leaf. Yes, to make the cells dead. Cells in the leaf dead. Right? Then only we can take chlorophyll out. Right? Then only we can take chlorophyll out. Yes, Pute. Teusas, Tisasna, Yanuki, Yugi, Tayatsen. Turn on the video. Hari. It was why the leaf is boiled in alcohol. Why do we boil it in alcohol? Yes. Alcohol will boil kale. to dissolve chlorophyll. When green color is there, we can't see the color change properly. So we need to remove chlorophyll, right? To dissolve chlorophyll. So chlorophyll had to boil the leaf in alcohol. Why is it necessary to use a water bath when you boil the leaf in alcohol? So what do you
Because the,
say? Yes, no.
because the alcohol will catch fire.
Alcohol will catch fire. You can say alcohol is highly inflammable, right? Alcohol is highly inflammable. Alcohol will catch fire. So it can catch fire in the direct flame, so that it will catch fire. In the direct flame. That is the reason. Catch fire in the direct flame. Right. Then we'll move. Another idea the presentations and 11 right? And you will get a homework question also next week. Describe an activity to show that oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. Now we know that starch is there, so that photosynthesis has taken place in the plant leaf. So how do we know that oxygen is released during photosynthesis? That is the next activity. First we will, I will draw the setup. Then by using the diagram, I will tell you what are the things needed. So I will keep a certain space to write the things needed. Right? Needed. Can write the things needed by looking at the diagram. Right? So we need to have an aquatic plant here. You have to tell me why later. Why do we use an aquatic plant? I have put water into a beaker or a water trough. Any container or basin, right? Better to use a beaker then, because we put the aquatic plant, something like hydrilla, Vallisneria, right? You can use an aquatic plant like that, right? An aquatic plant. Then we need to cover it by using a glass or transparent funnel like this. Right? This is a transparent funnel. Then here there is water. Is water inside, and we need to cover this by using an inverted boiling tube. First the boiling tube is filled with water, then I need to invert it on the funnel like this. So this is the boiling tube filled with water. At the beginning it is filled with water. Okay. Then we have to keep this exposed to sunlight, right, or a light bulb. So after some time, you will see that the gas bubbles are evolving from the plant, right? The gas bubbles are evolved from the plant, And when the gas is going to be collected at the top, what happens? Yes, the water level drops. The water level drops gradually. The gas gets collected to the top. Harida, this method we call as the downward displacement of water. වතුර ටික පහළට තල්ලු කරලා the gas gets collected at the top. Right? So initially the tube was filled with water. When the gas gets collected, the water level drops. Understood? Hari. We will label the parts. Then once I have labeled the parts, you can write down the things needed there. Right? So this is a trough or a beaker, you can say. This is water inside.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Pute. Nusra.
Where water move?
Sorry?
Where will the water go?
Why? To the beaker or the trough? Water trough? The water inside the boiling tube will move to the trough and the gas is collected at the top of the boiling tube. Right? If you find this difficult to keep the funnel, like I take water into a beaker, you will be able to keep it like this. නැත්නම් ටිකක් ලොකු container එකක් ගත්තොත් the beaker will
boiling with water evaporates.
Sorry?
Don't be scared to ask me questions, okay? Even if it is silly, no problem.
හරි. එතකොට අපි ටිකක් ලොකු water container එකක් ගත්තොත් මේ setup එක funnel එක එහෙම float වෙන්න බලනවා. එතකොට you will have to use something like clay in order to keep this. හරිද? වගේ ලොකු water container එකක් ගත්තොත් have to apply something like clay the two edges to keep this. Right? හරි. Arrows පොඩ්ඩක් adjust කරන්න වෙනවා. Asking questions is good, right? I like when you become more interactive and ask questions, that's good. Water, trough, the funnel, right? Why did I say that we have to use a glass funnel or a transparent funnel? Yes, why? Kian Balan, why did I say we have to use a glass funnel or a transparent funnel? Yes?
To see whether gas bubbles are evolved.
To see whether the gas bubbles are evolved. තව හේතුවක්. The gas bubbles will not be collected if we have covered it with something else. Why? මතක කරගන්න, what are the factors needed for photosynthesis? Yes? Tell me the reason.
Light energy.
To get
Light.
light energy. Light should be able to penetrate and reach the plant. Therefore, we have to use a glass or a transparent funnel. අපි නිකන් හරි cover කළොත් will not happen. Take place. Boiling tube, and you can say the gas is collected here. We are going to prove that the gas collected is oxygen later on. That you have to show that light energy is also provided. Light energy is falling on this. We label the aquatic plant. And the other thing, why do we use an aquatic plant here? Why can't we do this activity by using a terrestrial plant? Yes. Why can't we do this by using a terrestrial plant?
Then we couldn't observe the gas bubbles evolving.
Yes, Minidu. Then we can't see the evolving of gas bubbles, as well as it is difficult to collect the gas. දැන් අපි මොකක් හරි බෑග් එකක් ගැට ගහලා තිබ්බොත් can we say that the released gas is oxygen directly? කියන්න Amaruයි neda. But here the evolved gas directly get collected in the boiling tube, at the top of the boiling tube, when it is inverted. අපි මේකට කියනවා the boiling tube is inverted. මුණින් අතට කියලා කියන්නේ නේද? Upside down, inverted. Hari. So your observation is, you can make two observations actually. Gas bubbles are evolved. Gas bubbles are evolved from the plant. And then water level in the boiling tube drops. ඔයාලා ලියන්න ඕනේ exact answers. Because you are getting ready for an exam in grade 11. Exam මම හරියට exact answer එකක් ලියන විදිය ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ ටික ටික නේද? හරි නේද? එතකොට under the method you can write a description. Make the setup as shown in the diagram and keep it exposed to sunlight. So you don't need to keep it for days. Within few minutes actually, if there is plenty of sunlight or light energy, be able to get the results. I will show you the activity after writing. Then we need to know how to prove that the cold gas is oxygen. එතන හැදුනේ oxygen මයි කියලා පෙන්වන්න. Have a method. You know the method. In the 8th lesson, we have discussed about this. කාටද කියන්න පුළුවන්? How do we prove that the evolved gas is oxygen? Yes? Yes, Denuli, Kisha, Nusra, Petmi. How about it? Kian? Yes, how to prove the released gas is oxygen? You can remember. Kenuki? Ayatsan? What do you say? Ovini? අද මොකටද මට ටටක් ගාලා උත්තර හම්බ වෙනවනේ. Yes, Avini?
It is since there's 20% of oxygen gas in atmosphere. We need to find the
You're mentioning that we did for the rusting of iron. හෙමද? එතන පොතේ නෑනේ gas එක collect වෙලානේ. Gas is collected here. Yes, Kitma made a good attempt, right? So he thought there is 20% oxygen. ඒ නිසා we can measure the volume or something like that කියලා. නේද? ඊට වඩා ලේසි method එකක් තියෙනවා. Now the gas is collected, so we can remove this test tube or the boiling tube. We have to take it up slightly until the water flows down, and we have to insert a flying splint into the boiling tube. එහෙනම් දැන් take the test tube out of this, the water flows out, then gradually slant it and insert a glowing splint into it. Then what is the observation? The glowing splint? Yes? How about it? What is the observation for oxygen? 8th lesson එකේ කියලා දුන්නා. Yes, glowing splint pre-ignites with a bright flame. අර හඳුන් කූරක් වගේ දෙයක් දල්වලා නිවපු. අර glow එක තියෙන වෙලාවේ once we insert it will reignite. That is how we have to prove that the released gas is oxygen. Okay? I will show you the activity. Shall I erase? Have you all finished writing? Veraine, Petmi?
yes, teacher.
Hari. Now I am going to erase. So you are asked in part B, how do you prove that the produced gas is oxygen? You insert a glowing splint into the boiling tube, then it will reignite with a bright flame, right? That is the observation. Now take the boiling tube out. Have to take it out. And සමහර ළමයින්ට ඕක කරන්න කිව්වම මොකද කරන්නේ? අර වතුර ටික එන්න කලින් they insert the splint. එතකොට splint එක නිවෙනවා වතුර වැටිලා. You have to wait until all the water flows out and then just slant it and insert the glowing splint into it. Take the boiling out. That is the insert a glowing splint. This is important. Then දැල්ලක් නෑ. Here this is glowing, just glowing. This one, it reignites. අපහු දැල්ලක් එනවා. Right? Insert a glowing splint into it. Right? Then it reignites. The දැල් වෙනවා. Reignites. That is why we keep the aquatic plants in the fish tanks, right? Not only to give a beauty, they will release oxygen, which is needed for the respiration of fish, right? State the importance of keeping aquatic plants in a fish tank. oxygen gas released. Oxygen gas released during photosynthesis of plants. Photosynthesis becomes useful for the respiration of aquatic organisms, not only fish, even for the plants itself. Samhara hitanu plants release oxygen, they don't take oxygen in kela. For respiration, they also need oxygen, right? So becomes useful for the respiration of aquatic organisms. Aquatic organisms. Right? There is one more question as the last one. For that, I will share this activity. Activity.
An experiment on photosynthesis. The test tube and funnel experiment. The test tube funnel experiment demonstrates that oxygen is evolved during photosynthesis. A few branches of hydrilla are kept in a beaker containing pond water in which a small amount of sodium bicarbonate is dissolved. The branches are covered with a glass funnel and a test tube full of water is kept inverted over the stem of the funnel as shown in the diagram. Now the apparatus is kept in sunlight for 4 to 6 hours. The gas bubbles may be observed from the ends of hydrilla branches kept within the glass funnel. These gas bubbles are collected in the test tube by the downward displacement of water. The gas is tested for oxygen. When a burnt splinter is taken near the mouth of the tube, it glows brightly and proves that the gas is oxygen. The test tube and funnel experiment demonstrates that oxygen is evolved during photosynthesis.
Prepare this setup. The gas produced by hydrilla will be collected in the test tube. Expose the setup to bright light. Note any gas bubbles released from hydrilla. Leave the setup for 24 hours. Remove the test tube carefully and stop at the mouth of the test tube. Test the gas in the tube with a glowing splint. Note whether the splint relights or not.
Then I will show you how to identify the oxygen gas, right? Not from this activity. From any activity, if you have produced high oxygen gas, how to identify? I have watched that earlier also.
Go. Hi everyone.
Work today is broken. Every
Now in this activity, you will be able to see the whole setup process. So you saw what is meant by a glowing splint and how it reignites. Okay. Once we insert a splinter without a flame, it was glowing. Insert kalahama, it reignites, showing that this contains oxygen gas. You can see that. That is how we are going to identify or prove that the produced gas is oxygen. That is clear. Then finally, you are asked to mention the global importance of photosynthesis. That is the last question on photosynthesis, the first main biological process that we learned today, right? For that, you have to write the answer for homework. I will show you the place now. At the beginning, I mentioned photosynthesis provides food for the whole living world. right? And it releases an important byproduct as well. So this is the global importance. It is the main process that supplies food for the living beings, right? Main process that supplies food for the living being. You can study and write at home. Then it lessens the addition of carbon dioxide to the environment because it makes use of carbon dioxide as a raw material, removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So the increasing of the percentage of carbon dioxide is minimized, which is very important to control the atmospheric temperature, to reduce global warming, right? Produces oxygen for the respiration of living, right? Not only humans, but for all the living organisms. It controls the increase in global warming by absorbing carbon dioxide. Nowadays, we are experiencing the harmful impacts of deforestation. There are so many methods to release carbon dioxide, but the only method to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is photosynthesis. And for homework, you can write the global importance of photosynthesis, right? And so that is the end. ඔන්න අද කියපු විදිහට පාඩම් කරන්න ඕන අද දවසේ photosynthesis ගැන revise කරගන්න. You can have 30 minutes on it. You will need about 20 minutes. නේද? අපි දැන් ලියන්න videos බලන්න එහෙමනේ වෙලාව යන්නේ. ඒ ටික ටක් ගාලා මතක් කරගන්න අද දවසේ. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ I have assigned the two students who are going to share their notes as well as the two students who are going to make presentations for the coming week. හරිද? ඒකට unit test එකකට ලෑස්ති වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? දවස් ගානේ කරන ටික පාඩම් කළා. AC. Okay? හරි. එහෙනම් enjoy your holidays. තාම holidays නෑනේ නේද? Get the holidays after a week, right? So please let me know your marks, first term and the second term both, and send me a WhatsApp message. I am happy to see the marks, and whether it is less or more, you have to send me, right? Hari. See you on next Saturday. Stay safe and have a nice time.
Bye, teacher. See you next
Bye.
week. Bye, teacher. Thank you, teacher. Have a nice day, teacher.
Teacher, bye.